What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into NYJ Today. In this video, I'm going to be discussing Justin Fields, quarterback from Ohio State University, and why he could be an actual possibility at the number 2 overall pick. Let's get after it. Okay, so right off the bat, I just want to discuss some of his passing. So Justin Fields grades out extremely well. If you pay any attention to PFF, which we know you can't take everything that they say so seriously. Some of it is their numbers are a little bit wonky when you look at them, but when you look at this, it does make sense. He does grade out as the best. In the PFF college era, he grades out as the best Ohio State quarterback and passer. And the stats really do back that up. So 92.9 compared to Dwayne Haskins' 84.2. So he grades out much better as a passer than Dwayne Haskins did in college. And so if you look at the stats here, in 2018 he was actually with the Georgia Bulldogs, had some success there. Moves to or transfers to Ohio State University in 2019, has a ridiculous season, 41 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, just through the roof efficiency and great quarterback play. And then this year in the pandemic season, he takes a step back, had some bad games. He played poorly versus Northwestern, played poorly versus Indiana, but again, still producing at a very high level and did some really special things this year that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. The next thing we'll discuss is Justin Fields as a runner in college football. I'm going to use the word efficient a lot in this video, I'm sure, and if I do, I apologize, but he is an extremely efficient runner. When he runs, he has good production that goes along with that running, and again, the stats speak for themselves. So yards per attempt, 7.2 yards per attempt, 10-yard runs, he had 10 of those. He missed tackles forced, 11, and he has a rushing grade of 77.7, overall grade of 90.1. You look at the stats here, he's averaging a lot of touchdowns per year rushing. That's 19 touchdowns in 3 seasons, so you can do the math there. That's about 6 touchdowns per year. And again, I don't necessarily want a quarterback to take a lot of hits as a runner. I don't love the style that which Lamar Jackson runs with or that Josh Allen runs with. I think they take too many hits. But it seems to me that Justin Fields has the ability to make plays with his legs, obviously. And, that's a weapon, and that's something that defenses have to account for, and it makes it life very, very difficult for a defensive coordinator when they have to game plan for a quarterback like this. So when you compile the passing with the running, it's a very, very impressive resume from college football. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. We're just going to look at some of his positive plays that I was able to pull from the internet. A lot of this stuff is, from different aspects of his game. So it's not going to be just throwing. It's not going to be just running. It's going to be different parts of his game that I noticed. And I just want you to understand that I'm not a professional evaluator. So, if you hear something that you disagree with, please do let me know. Just let me know respectfully in the comments. I'm happy to have a discussion with you about them. So let's get. Okay, so on this first play, we see Justin Fields. He's looking left. He kind of fakes to the running back here and doesn't like what he sees right away. Makes the quick decision to just pull the ball down, start to run. And you have to give him a little bit of credit here because he doesn't take a loss. He gains yards. He gets a first down. The only thing I would like to see is he get down a little bit faster. He does kind of run into the ref there and could have potentially gotten hit even if the ref wasn't there. On this next play, we're going to be looking at another RPO type of play here. He fakes the run. He is looking left and sees a receiver breaking wide open down the seam of the field. And he makes a great throw. And the other thing that I just kind of want to point out here is he has tremendous footwork. He does a nice job of always having his feet underneath of him, and he's always ready to get the ball out quickly. You don't really see sloppy mechanics with Justin Fields, so it's just something that I want to compliment him on, as his footwork is very solid. Okay, so on this play, it actually looks a lot like the second play. And the first play, he's looking after a faked handoff, and he's looking up the seam at a receiver who is covered. And I just love, again, I love the way he very quickly makes decisions. He's not going to stay in there too long. He's going to avoid getting hit, and he's going to make a play with his legs. And, if there's one thing that I can compliment him on, is that he is a great deep ball thrower, and he is an unbelievable an escape artist. He can really get out of the pocket quickly and make a lot of plays with his legs. So this play, I think, really just showcases that. He's able to be a threat down the field, and then also within the pocket, he can move just super quickly out of it in an instant. He's out of there, and he's making a big chunk play happen. Okay, on this next play, we're going to see something similar with his feet. He is going to be in the pocket. He's going to be keeping a good, solid base to be able to throw from. And then when he's ready to go, he is off and he is running. The movement in the pocket is nice. It would have been nice if when he took that initial step forward in the pocket that he had still had his eyes downfield before he decided to run. But you really can't criticize here because he scores a touchdown, number one, and number two, he's just trying to make, he's trying to get some yards, trying to get a first down here. In the red zone. So again, really nice play, and again shows that he is an absolute threat to run it at any given time. Okay, on this next play, a lot of people would look at it and just take it for face value, which is he's throwing a touchdown to a tight end who's pretty much wide open. And you know what, I have to say, if you look a little bit closer here, he has people just right in his face, and look at his feet. Look at his feet. He never went off of that back foot, really. He kept his two legs under him, even though there were two guys just about to completely destroy him. And again, wide open receiver, I get that. But just look, no panic. No panic at all. He had his feet under him, and he got a good ball off, threw it right where he needed to. And when you're inside like this, there's going to be some guys that get open in the tight end position specifically. I just love this play. This is an underrated play by him to not lose his cool here with two or three guys in his face. Just really impressive. Okay, on this play, you're not really going to see anything spectacular here, but what I like here is that he's not panicking, not leaving the pocket. He keeps his feet under him. He makes a good, clean throw to the drag route here. And again, he knows he's about to get hit. He can see that it's coming, or he should be able to at least feel that it's coming from the blind side. So just a good throw, a good in-rhythm throw, a quick step drop, and gets the ball off, and it's right at the 1 yard line, I believe. So nice throw here, a nice play to stay within the pocket. Okay, on this next play, what we're going to see here is a little bit of a negative, but also a positive. He does keep his eyes kind of locked onto this receiver from the beginning of the play. There's no real look off. There's no real, let me look left and then go back to my receiver on the right side. So he's not really having to do that in this offense. And I think the thing we need to be careful here is a lot of this is the system that they run at Ohio State. They don't necessarily need, or he doesn't need to make multiple reads on a play. So a lot of this is going to have to get coached out of him. This is something that he can't form a habit of locking onto receivers while in the NFL, because it's just going to lead to bad plays, sacks, strip sacks, turnovers because of the DBs responding and linebackers responding to his eyes. But again, if you're looking at the positives here, great footwork. He keeps his feet right under him. And the ball placement is fantastic, right over that linebacker or safety's head, and just where the receiver can make a play. The DB or the DB or the linebacker could not make a play, and it ends up as a touchdown on a 3rd and 20. So really nice work. Okay, on this next play we're going to be looking at is Justin Fields and his ability to move in the pocket and then to get out of the pocket. We've seen that a couple of times here. He has an elite level and a great sense of what's going on around him. So great use of his legs here to move left, to move right, to get in the end zone, inside the red zone. Having a quarterback that can do these types of things is extremely, extremely valuable. The red zone efficiency goes up, and when you have a really efficient offense inside the red zone, you're going to be winning football games. That's literally how games are decided, is efficiency in the red zone and turnovers. So having him to be able to do something like this at the next level in the NFL, very, very valuable, and something that will get him drafted early in the NFL draft. Okay, so on this play, we're going to be looking at Justin Fields and him just demonstrating one small example of him being deadly, deadly accurate down the field, deep ball thrower. This guy reminds me a lot of Russell Wilson in regards to his deep ball accuracy and his deep ball placement. I mean, he just puts this exactly where it needs to be. It's over the left shoulder of that receiver. It's not out of bounds. He keeps it in play. The receiver doesn't have to make some ridiculous catch. I get it. He beat the defender here, but again, he's putting the ball where it needs to go. And if you watch the Clemson Ohio State Sugar Bowl this past January, you saw this on display over and over again as his ridiculously good deep ball passing. And again, this is something that I think, along with his ability to make plays with his legs and escape the rushers, these two things make him a very, very interesting prospect at the next level. And again, I love watching him throw the ball down the field. He's just really, really good at this. Okay, on this play, we're going to see a tight window type of throw inside the red zone, and you see all of the traits here. You see arm strength, you see his eyes. Again, I don't see him making reads here. This is something that is lacking in these plays, positive or negative, as his eyes aren't really moving around the field at all. He's just got his eyes on this one guy, and he's waiting for him to make his cut. So eventually, at one point in the video, we're going to talk more about this, but if you look carefully here, he's got his great footwork going. He stays inside the pocket. He's not running all around. He's not, got happy feet in the pocket. And he uncorks a great ball here in the red zone, in a tight space. There's a linebacker underneath. There's a corner, trailing the receiver on the right side. There's another defender on the left. So he's really having to place this ball tightly in that spot, and he gets it done. And this is a great play and a great example of what he can do as far as threading the needle and placing the ball where it has to be. So accuracy is not really a concern for me, and his arm strength and playmaking ability really just aren't not a concern. Really nice throw and really nice play. So I watched this play a couple of times, and I think what initially Justin Fields was thinking is the safety was going to continue carrying to the sideline, and Justin Fields could kind of make a throw where either receiver was going to catch it or it would just fall incomplete. But this is kind of like a busted play here. It looks like it's a designed rollout to the right. He's supposed to be going to this receiver. It is a one read kind of play. He's either throwing it away or he's throwing it to this receiver who's on an outbreaking route. I don't know what happened on this play. It could be that the receiver made the wrong, read and made the wrong decision to go up the field rather than continuing to the sideline. But you could also, put a fair amount of blame also on Justin Fields here. He's throwing kind of off of his back foot here. He's not really, he's not really using his feet well here. We know he's under pressure, so we don't criticize him too badly for this. But he really should have just thrown this ball away. It's kind of a busted play. It's a one read kind of look. The receiver wasn't wide open to begin with. So in my opinion, just throw this ball away. This is an example of him kind of forcing the issue here. And I would have just loved to have seen him. Okay, this is a pretty easy play to look at and to analyze. So if you watch just the receiver, pay attention to the receiver first, and then look at Justin Fields as far as when he's throwing this ball. And to me, my eyes tell me that he is throwing this ball late. This is an anticipation throw. This is an anticipation kind of play. He shouldn't be waiting for the receiver to break. He knows where he needs to put this ball, and he knows where his receiver is running. He needs to put this ball out there before the receiver even makes the cut. So he lacked anticipation on this play. It's not a poorly thrown ball. It's not inaccurate. Some people would look at this play and say, oh, he threw it, out of bounds. What was he thinking? It's because it's late. He needs to anticipate the throws a little bit better here, and that can be coached, that can be improved. So I'm talking about a negative here, but I'm understand that this is something that he can improve on as he gets to the next level. That's going to do it for my analysis of Justin Fields in this video. So to answer the question that I asked at the beginning, should Justin Fields be in consideration at the number 2 overall pick for the New York Jets? And my answer is yes, he should be in consideration, and I do believe that he will be a part of the conversations that they have leading up to the NFL draft. If they have not traded for a quarterback, if they have not signed a quarterback, I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to be at least talking about drafting this kid at number 2 overall. And when you talk about arm strength, accuracy, whether it's short, intermediate, or deep, he possesses those traits. If you talk about movement, ability to escape in the pocket, and to be able to make plays with his legs, you're talking about an elite talent. And this guy has traits that great quarterbacks have. So I'd be very, very excited, and I would support the draft pick if they did make it. I know a lot of people have a very strong opinion against Justin Fields, and if you do, I really do want to hear from you in the comments section. That's what these kind of videos are all about, is kind of having a discussion. So just let yourself be heard. I want to hear what you guys think. Just give a shout out in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching NYJ today. If you could please jet up the like button for this video, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. We're putting up new content all the time, and we do have a weekly podcast every single Wednesday. We just did our first giveaway this past Wednesday, so please tune in for those. And again, we really love interacting with you guys, so please get after us in the comments, and we will look forward to talking to you in the next video. Go Jets, and I'll see you guys next time.